In any healthy relationship, understanding boundaries and respecting your partner's choices isn't just important, it's essential. Folks come to me all the time struggling with this very thing. They feel unheard, disrespected, and like their needs are being trampled on. It's a recipe for disaster. Welcome to today's video where we explore how emotional intelligence, communication, and mutual respect build lasting connections. It's about understanding where you end and your partner begins. Boundaries are personal limits, emotional, physical, and mental, that help define what's acceptable and what isn't in a relationship. They're like the fences on your property line. They let everyone know where your yard ends and your neighbor's begins. Just like those fences prevent disputes over property lines, personal boundaries protect your well-being and the health of your relationship. They allow you to stay true to your values while still showing up with love and compassion for your partner. Now, this doesn't mean building walls and shutting your partner out. It's about having the self-awareness to know what you need to thrive and the courage to communicate those needs effectively. Think of it this way. If you're constantly feeling drained, resentful, or taken advantage of, you're not doing yourself or your relationship any favors. Setting healthy boundaries is about taking ownership of your own well-being. It's not selfish, it's self-care. When boundaries are respected, both partners feel secure, valued, and free to be themselves. It creates a space of mutual respect and understanding. When you know where you stand with someone and you know they've got your back, you feel safe to be vulnerable. You feel safe to be your authentic self. Without boundaries, resentment builds, misunderstandings occur, and emotional exhaustion becomes the norm. Respecting boundaries is all about recognizing that your partner is an individual, separate from you, with their own thoughts, feelings, and needs. It's about honoring those differences and finding ways to coexist peacefully and lovingly. Remember, setting boundaries isn't about controlling your partner. It's about taking control of your own well-being and creating a relationship built on respect, trust, and understanding. Now let's dive into some common types of boundaries. First up, we've got physical boundaries. This is about your personal space, your privacy, and your physical touch comfort levels. It's about feeling safe and respected in your own skin. Maybe you need some alone time to recharge after a long day. Maybe you're not comfortable with public displays of affection. Whatever your physical boundaries are, it's crucial to communicate them to your partner. Next, we've got emotional boundaries. This is about protecting your feelings, your energy, and your mental well-being. It's about not taking on other people's emotional baggage as your own. For example, you have the right to say no to things you don't want to do, even if it disappoints your partner. You're not responsible for their happiness, and you shouldn't feel obligated to compromise your own needs to please them. Then we have intellectual boundaries. This is about respecting each other's opinions, beliefs, and values, even when you don't see eye to eye. It's about having healthy debates without resorting to personal attacks or trying to change the other person's mind. We also have time boundaries. This is about how you spend your time both individually and as a couple. Chapter 4. Respecting your partner's choices. Respecting your partner's choices means acknowledging their autonomy. It means understanding that your partner is not an extension of you. They have the right to their own decisions, even when you disagree. Now, this doesn't mean you have to agree with everything your partner does. It doesn't mean you have to like it, but it does mean respecting their right to make their own choices, even if you wouldn't make those same choices yourself. It's about trusting them to navigate their own lives and make decisions that are in their best interests. A lot of times people get into trouble in relationships because they try to control their partner. They think, if I can just get them to change this one thing about themselves, then we'll be happy. But that's not how it works. You can't control other people. Chapter 5. When boundaries are crossed. When boundaries are ignored, it leads to emotional strain, lack of trust, and often conflict. It's like a crack in the foundation of your relationship. If you ignore it, it's only going to get worse over time. If someone constantly crosses a line you've drawn, it's not just a red flag, it's a warning sign of deeper issues. Now, it's important to remember that we're all human and we all make mistakes. There will be times when your partner unintentionally crosses a boundary. The key is how they respond when you bring it to their attention. Do they apologize and make a genuine effort to do better next time? Or do they get defensive and dismissive? When boundaries are repeatedly crossed, it erodes trust. creates resentment and can lead to feelings of anger, hurt, and betrayal. Chapter 6: How to Communicate Boundaries Effectively. Now that we've covered the what and the why, let's focus on the how. Setting and respecting boundaries begins with clear, compassionate communication. You can't expect your partner to read your mind. You have to be upfront about your needs and expectations. When you're communicating your boundaries, be direct, be specific, and be respectful. Use I statements to express your needs and feelings without blaming or accusing your partner. For example, instead of saying, "You're always late," try saying, "I feel disrespected when you're chronically late for our plans." Be clear about the consequences of crossing your boundaries. Let them know what will happen if they continue to disregard your needs. Now, just as important as communicating your own boundaries is listening to and respecting your partner's boundaries. Chapter 7: Redefining Boundaries Over Time. People change, relationships evolve, and so should your boundaries. What worked a year ago might not feel right today, and that's okay. As you grow and change, your needs and expectations will naturally evolve. Maybe you've become more independent and need more time to yourself than you used to. Maybe you've realized that you're more sensitive to certain things than you realized before. Redefining boundaries isn't a sign that your relationship is falling apart. It's a sign that it's growing stronger. The key to successfully redefining boundaries is open and honest communication. Chapter 8: Final Thoughts. In a thriving relationship, love isn't about control, it's about trust. And trust is built when we honor boundaries and support one another's freedom to choose. It's about creating a space where both partners feel safe, respected, and valued for who they truly are. By setting healthy boundaries and communicating your needs effectively, you can create a relationship built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, subscribe for more relationship insights, and share this video with someone who might need it. Remember, setting boundaries is not about building walls. It's about creating a safe and loving space for your relationship to flourish. It's about understanding that true intimacy comes from a place of mutual respect and freedom. Until next time, take care and treat love with the respect it deserves.